How are you guys?
Good. It's good to see you.
You too. Well, my name's Emily Smith. I graduated in 2013 from the Rosen College of Hospitality Management. I am currently with Tavern Restaurant Group. I am our Florida Director of Sales and Events for our pub concepts. So I do all of our corporate social events of any capacity, catering for groups from 200 all the way up to 2,000. Yeah, that's about it.
So fun.
I know, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, not right now, but it is exciting usually.
It's exciting because it's coming back, Emily.
I know. I had my first in-person event for 100 people last Friday, and it was 1 year to the day of my last event
Oh my gosh.
of 2020.
That's
So,
exciting.
It was really exciting.
Good things on the horizon.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
There's hope.
That's right.
What about you guys, though?
Yeah, what about you, Alexis?
Well, I'm Alexis Johnson. I graduated from the Rosen campus in 2005 and then got my master's from the main campus in 2010. And I currently serve the U.S. Tennis Association as the Foundation Executive Director for here in Florida. So it's slightly different, but I'm using all the same skills.
Same
Yeah.
difference.
And because tennis became super popular during the pandemic, when you guys slowed down, we got inundated.
Really?
So people were tired of sitting on their sofas,
Yeah.
and they all purchased rackets and got up and started playing. So
That makes sense. I could
super
see that.
busy now here in
I feel
Florida.
like all active things like sold out, like easily active
Yes.
things sold out.
RVs.
Yes.
Yes.
All the dumbbells. Amazon was like sold out of dumbbells and all that fun stuff.
So true.
What about you, Bernie?
So I graduated from main campus with a hospitality degree in 2001. So I'll be the grandmother of the group. I'll take it. But I graduated from main campus and I own Blush by Brandy Gar, which is an event planning company here in Orlando. So we do weddings, corporate events, and social events, which is a lot of fun. So
Huge fan as well. Of
Yes.
yours.
Thank you.
And
Thank
everything.
Thank you. Did you grow up watching me, Emily? Did you
No.
grow up? That's the
No.
best when people are like, "Oh my gosh, I grew up watching you," and I'm like, "That's a backhanded compliment."
I think it's really funny though because you get to meet like especially it's like a big world but a small community at the same
Yeah.
time. So
So true.
you're in school and you're hearing from all these people and then you get to leave school and graduate and then you actually are working side by side
Yes.
them. You're like, I didn't know what no, am I doing this correctly?
No, that's so true. I actually got to hear from Susan Sutherland a lot. She speaks here all the
Yeah.
time. Everybody knows who she is. She's iconic. And now I'm such good friends with her. We work together all the time. And I'm like, this is so weird when I think back to my college days, because she was a solid like 10 years ahead of me. So that's a really cool feeling. Yeah.
I think the same thing goes for being a student and being like having one of the professors and then
Yes.
getting to come back
Yes.
or being close with the professors now in a more of a professional role and like, oh no, I'm an adult. This is
Yeah.
what being an adult is like.
Yes, I still call Dr. Brighter Dr. Brighter. I'm like, that's what I'm supposed to call it. That's appropriate.
I can't call you by your first name.
No.
That's weird.
Especially when you get out there and you start working with your adjuncts.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
this is very strange
This is
now. I
not-
still feel like I should call you by the same name.
Uh-huh.
They're like,
It's
call
so
me
weird.
Steve. You're like, I can't.
It just doesn't work
I
that
just
way.
can't.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Well, good. So, do you guys have questions for each other? I think we have some fun questions, right?
Anybody
Do you
want to go
start?
first? Yeah.
Sure. I have a crazy one here. What did your mom say when you told her you wanted a career in the hospitality industry?
My mom was so thankful. I don't know if I do. I actually transferred into the program here.
Okay.
And my mom was elated.
Really? What were you doing?
I was originally, long before Rosen had an entertainment management degree, I was
Mhm.
seeking one. And so I left the state to get an entertainment business degree
Mhm.
elsewhere.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And that degree was connected to their dance department. So the only way to get in, because it was out-of-state tuition, and
Oh,
that
wow.
was a struggle for my family, was to be
Yeah.
on scholarship. And
Oh,
then
gosh.
I did exactly what my mom had always said, like, what happens if you shatter your ankle, your career's over. And I did. I shattered my foot
No way.
into millions of pieces.
Oh, wow.
And I was out for about a year and a half, and so I couldn't re-audition, couldn't get my scholarship. So when I told my mom, look, I'm going to transfer home, I'm going to go to UCF, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I woke up the next morning and she just left the magazine out for me to show me that the campus had just
Yeah.
opened like the Tuesday before when I came home.
Awesome.
So when I came here, I said, you know what, I like it there. I think I can do this.
Yeah.
She was elated to know that I have a business background and not just be dancing for the rest
right,
of my life.
Exactly.
So smart.
I would say that my mother and both my father were not surprised, I
Mhm.
think. I've had the blessing and curse of knowing what I wanted to do my entire life. My dad, used to sit me down and be like, I changed my major 13 times. These are all the things you can do. It's okay. I'm like, no.
Nope.
I just want to do this.
Yep.
Mhm.
I wanted to be Jennifer Lopez in The Wedding Planner, plan events, plan weddings, move to New York. That was the big dream. But I knew at least just get me to that path. It was one of those where I basically just had to make it through high school because nothing in high school was going to equate to.
Yeah.
I mean, things are similar, but it wasn't going to be exactly what I wanted to do. So it was no surprise in my family at all.
Yeah, I would say the same. I feel like I planned events my whole life. I mean, little ones.
Right.
But still, I was like, this is
Gotta
what
start
I
somewhere.
always want to do. Yeah, when I
Right.
was 6, I planned an anniversary dinner for my parents. It was ridiculous.
Aw,
But
So
I was
sweet.
6.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
yeah, same thing. They knew. There was no
Surprise there.
Yeah, no surprise. I love it. I love it. What
So
about you guys? Any
questions?
questions?
Well, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. How has your Rosen College degree helped you advance your career?
Ooh, there's so many good answers.
I know, I
for
feel
that
like that's a
one.
really good one. I feel like, because I was at Rosen, I was at main campus, my professors played a huge role in my career. And so it wasn't necessarily the piece of paper, but it was the people behind the piece of paper. So for me, I vividly remember one of my professors telling me that there was an internship coming available, and he said, I really think you should apply for it. And I was a hot mess. It was a 7 a.m. class. It was, no one dresses to
Right,
go to 7 a.m.
no.
class. I was in slippers and a big hair ponytail. And he was like, but you need to go now to get an application. And I was like, okay. But I did, and that internship turned into, I got hired for it. I came back and dressed and did an interview later, but I grabbed the application. And that interview turned into me having an incredible internship with Sodexo Marriott, which was the on-campus dining at the time. And then my boss there introduced me to my first boss. I got to open the Gaylord Palms Resort, which is here in Orlando. And all because of those connections, 100% because of those connections. So I don't necessarily know if it was the degree as much as it was the people behind the degree. And I think that that's so important. When people are looking at their college that they're going to choose, it's not just the piece of paper. It
Mhm.
has to be the support behind it. And we're in Orlando. I mean, it's the mecca of hospitality, and you have such incredible professors and support staff behind you, cheering for you and rooting you on and helping you along the way. So
I agree. I was gonna say, I think it's a lot about the support, but and the connections as well. I think that my degree made what I knew I always wanted to do more credible in a sense.
yes.
But for the same reason with internships, being able to be on campus, and for me, I had an internship, I was in Greek life at UCF, and that in itself is a small network of, community and
Yeah.
connections in itself there. But there was an internship with a catering company, and that was kind of how I got my foot in the door. They did catering for weddings, for corporate events, for everything, and I just happened to get lucky that the catering company was purchasing a venue. So I got to see the catering
timing.
side, the event management side, the venue procurement
Mhm.
side. I got to see everything, and that's kind of where I found my passion for venue sales and that sort of route. And nobody ever tells you that. I feel like when people think about hospitality and they think of events, it's like, oh, you're gonna work at a hotel or you're gonna do
Yep, yep,
weddings.
that's
Like
it.
these are the two categories
Yes.
you have to fit into one. And it's so far from the truth. Hospitality is so transferable in every facet. But I was a server in restaurants the entire time, and I never knew that you could plan events for a restaurant. Like I didn't know that that was a thing until I came to Rosen and I got my internship and then was working throughout college. But having professors that could answer those questions,
Yeah.
and then people around me who also had navigated their way through areas of hospitality that weren't, I guess, categorized in that facet at the time, that support was amazing. So,
Kind of like you, I was very, very lucky that sitting in a class with Professor Logan, which was funny for me, he had hired my dad. My dad had worked
No
with them.
way.
So
Oh,
the
wow.
projects he was talking about were projects that I watched, like, growing
Oh,
up.
that's crazy.
That
He
is
was
cool.
talking about the story of things and how they came to life. And I'm like, yeah, I know, that was in my living room. Like, so it was always interesting to me. But one day he started talking about the themed event experience. And prior to being at USTA, I was working for Disney, and that's exactly what I was doing. But I never realized it was a job, which seems weird. My dad never even told me, like, this
Yeah.
is a job that you can do.
Right.
So learning about that from there, I kind of picked that out, and then going through classes, I was like, okay, I need to know about BEOs to be able to
Mhm.
understand the catering side.
Yeah.
I need to know more about events. You know, the entertainment background I had from the outside paired together with it, and so it really helped me see that this was gonna help launch me into a new area. It was
I love
fun.
I love
So
it
cool.
too.